Tasha Mosley says prosecutor Deborah Leslie used AI to write briefings, which made up case citations.
Those non-existent cases were cited in your initial brief opposing the motion for new trial.
This looks like a normal court filing at first, and then someone realizes, wait a second, these cases don't exist.
So before you sit down, there's one more thing I need to ask you about, unfortunately. In reviewing the trial court's order denying the motion for new trial, there are at least 5 citations to cases that don't exist. And there's at least 5 more citations to cases that do not support the proposition for which they're cited, including 3 quotations that don't exist. My understanding is that you prepared the order for new trial, the denial order for the trial court. Were those citations in the version of the order that you submitted to the trial court?
No, Your Honor, I do not believe so. They were not. I did prepare an order. That order was revised.
So those non-existent cases were cited in your initial brief opposing the motion for new trial.
Your Honor, I'm not aware of that, but I would be glad to research that and provide the court with a supplement.
So basically what's going on right now, so in the state of Georgia, there is a district attorney, and she apparently has just recently got caught utilizing AI to kind of deliver briefings and things like this in some super serious cases. Imagine if you've ever used ChatGPT or Claude or any of these large LLMs currently, right? Imagine for a second, ask it a question, read what it says, and you're like, wait a second, sometimes that makes 0% sense. That never happened. But we now have like a term for this. It's called AI hallucination. So now imagine if you're working on a gigantic case, okay, and you utilize AI to create everything for you, and then you don't even proofread it and just hand it in while someone's life is on the line. What does that mean for you? If you get caught doing this, does it mean the person that was on trial gets let go? Right? Does it mean something like that? I don't know. I want to know how that works, guys. What happens? Like on a serious note, like what happens to the case? If you guys know, let me know in the comments, because that's one I can't even like logic out here. Now, don't get me wrong here. AI has been amazing for people that do a lot of paperwork, all the time. Okay. But make sure you're proofreading things, and there should probably be some type of, law or something. Guys, right now we are on like a brand new frontier in terms of AI. So I understand that there are still some kind of holes in everything, and we're still trying to figure out, where things are going to be, where they're going to go, how we're going to handle things. I get that. In cases like this, we need people who are professional enough to know the craft as well as AI. Let's just say this here.
I obtained the letter that the district attorney wrote to the Chief Justice admitting that one of her prosecutors used AI for court filings and that AI made stuff up.
There are at least 5 citations to cases that don't exist. And there's at least 5 more citations to cases that do not support the proposition for which they're cited.
At the Supreme Court of Georgia, a humiliating revelation for this prosecutor with the Clayton County District Attorney's Office. In a letter to Chief Justice Nels Peterson, DA Tasha Mosley says prosecutor Deborah Leslie used AI to write briefings, which made up case citations.
Those non-existent cases were cited in your initial brief opposing the motion for new trial.
Your Honor, I'm not aware of that, but I would be glad to research that.
The court was hearing the appeal of Hannah Payne, who was convicted of murdering a man after a hit and run back in 2019. DA Mosley told the court the prosecutor violated her office's ethical standards by relying on artificial intelligence.
Here's where it gets interesting. We flip all the way over to page 7, where she's now talking about how she's going to prevent this from happening in the future. And she says one of the things she's going to do is a firm requirement that every case citation, particularly those initially identified through technological or AI-based tools, be independently verified in a recognized primary legal database before being included in any draft. What?
Yeah.
Did she just tell the Supreme Court under oath that she's going to use AI again in the future, but just promises to be super more careful next time?
Absolutely.
This is really disturbing to me.
Guys, our justice system may just like legitimately be a joke in the context of what we're encountering here. All right. Because if you're allowing this person to maintain her position while basically admitting that she was utilizing some tools that have the ability to basically hallucinate things that never actually happened, create quotes that never actually happened, yeah, that's a problem, bro. All right, let's just be completely honest here. Let's understand this here. In terms of the ethics of that, absolutely abysmal, guys.
If I were her and I was on the ropes like that, the last thing I would do was even suggest that I was going to use AI again. I wouldn't promise not to. I just wouldn't bring it up at all. I would just say, I am going to absolutely triple check every citation I use from now on. Certainly wouldn't want to say that I was going to use AI again in the future. But here's where it gets even more kind of entertaining. All right. So you can see this is from WSB, who's a local affiliate here in Atlanta. They interviewed Tasha Mosley. Tasha Mosley is the district attorney. So Miss Leslie works for Tasha Mosley, the district attorney of Clayton County. Mosley said she believed it was likely AI that was used to write the proposed order. We already know that, right, which is why the phantom cases were included. Now get this, quote, there was a clear policy that AI should not be used. That is a violation, Mosley told Channel 2 Action News. So which is it? Did they have a policy against AI? Because didn't Miss Leslie in her affidavit just promise to be more careful when she uses AI in the future?
Right.
So
big contradictions here.
County District Attorney's Office might want to get on the same page about that before they have any more public announcements.
We've seen judges reprimand them. We've seen sanctions. We haven't seen it on this kind of platform, with the Supreme Court, and we haven't seen it from a prosecutor.
Tom Church is a trial attorney here in Metro Atlanta. He says while this slip-up was egregious, more and more lawyers are turning to AI to help them do their jobs.
This is a really significant tool that's letting lawyers do way more than they could have. It
true.
With a responsibility.
Double, triple check.
Anytime you see AI, that means I'm triple checking it.
And that's something the Chief Justice himself warned of in his State of the Judiciary address at the Capitol last month.
As AI's power and reach continues to advance rapidly, we all have to keep up.
Listen, guys, AI is definitely here to stay, but it definitely needs to be used with ethics, okay? Like morally look at things and say, is this the smartest thing I can do for someone who paid me a copious amount of money on retainer, right? To make sure that you're delivering their case in the most coherent and logical way, not throwing them under the bus with like AI hallucinations that you're kind of letting pass because you're not going to double, triple check anything. You're going to accept the money and then utilize AI to handle everything. How does that make sense, guys? If that's the case, then you might as well get the premium subscription to ChatGPT. All right, save yourself some time and money, guys. Right, and the fact that she got a slap on the wrist here is ridiculous. Okay, this is what is absolutely disheartening. We're allowing people to control our lives for the most part, dictate what our lives will be at some of the scariest points in our life. If you're ever involved in anything like, a court case and things like this, right? And some of them are utilizing AI. Bro, I could have done that. I'm hiring you for your expertise. All right. Not your ability to write prompts on AI. This is scary. All right. And yeah, there should definitely not be any of this, even though I know that this is, again, AI is here to stay. All right. Like we all know this. I'm sure we can kind of come to terms with AI is going nowhere. I'm not sure that it's going to be able to advance more than it is. Let's say this year, I think it's going to hit a bottleneck sometime soon with the chip crisis that we're basically suffering through here, right? Currently, if you look at solid state memory, the costs of things are absolutely insane here. Look at RAM prices. AI is buying everything up, and then all of these gigantic manufacturers that utilize chips, to sell products to us. Look at their websites, guys. A good amount of them are saying, "Hey, I can't deliver the new camera. Hey, I can't deliver the new PS6 or whatever it is, guys." Right? A lot of them are out there saying this. What does that tell you? AI is hitting a bottleneck, guys, because they're consuming more than we can produce right now. Okay. So we'll see where this goes here, but I definitely would like to get AI specifically out of this type of system. Would be amazing, truthfully. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. And in the meantime, I'll go ahead and catch you guys later. And also, guys, really quickly, what do you think would have been fair? Because if you did it, it wouldn't be a slap on the wrist, guys. But either way, I'll catch you guys later.